All right, welcome into this week at Gridiron Icon. I am joined by my iconic better half, number 88, Preston Denard, in the booth, so to speak, and we couldn't be more excited for this next guest. Listen, this guest, we're going to try to keep it inside our weekly time allotment, but this is an exciting and unique guest that has a unique connection to the game, but we're going to stretch well beyond the gridiron on this one. Our guest, however, has a football background, played high school football, was clearly a natural, offered a football scholarship at Long Beach State. After a successful college career, he was blessed to sign a contract with our Los Angeles Rams, and his rookie year played in Super Bowl against the Steelers with my iconic better half, number 88, Preston Denard. He also played with the Bills, Colts, went on to play in the Canadian Football League with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, suffered a neck injury, and that's where, in my opinion, the magic began with this guest. You may recognize him from an abundance of other talents in the music industry, including songwriting, singing, producing with groups like The Miracles, Earth, Wind and Fire, Shalamar, The Whispers, Bobby Brown, many more. And might I mention he was once voted in the top 10 Right On Magazine's sexiest men alive. Preston, don't get angry or jealous.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad, Preston.
No.
The iconic Sydney Justin. Sydney, thanks for coming in.
Hey, man, it's a pleasure. Thanks. That was a great introduction.
Wasn't it? Oh my gosh, I can't believe
awesome.
that. He gets better and better.
We do our best. We do our best around here. So thanks for joining us with Gridiron Icon. And I think this one's a special one because you're former teammates with this guy I spend a lot of time with, also happen to be even better friends. So we're looking to we're going to really pick your brain over the next 45 minutes, my friend.
Sounds good to me. I'm definitely open to talking about my man, Preston.
Well, Stacey, I got to tell you, Sydney has been in this place. And he knows this place. It's even grown even bigger. He's broken bread with me here, with my family. And so we've had a wonderful relationship. But we're going to start this thing out, my friend. Let's go back to when you first started playing ball. It appears you didn't start playing youth ball until you started playing in high school. Is that correct?
Well, actually, I didn't even play in high school.
So you didn't?
I did not. No, I didn't play any high school football.
Wow.
They didn't give me opportunity. So, I mean, listen, honestly, I grew up in LA. I kind of was kind of a street kind of guy. I was in high school, but what happened was I wanted to play football, but I wasn't getting the opportunity as a freshman. So of course, you do other things. You go off and you start doing it. And anyway, I ended up doing gymnastics. I was a gymnast. In fact, by my senior year in high school, I was an all-state gymnast for Crenshaw High School, and so I did all around. I did everything: the tumbling, the floor exercise, the rings, the parallel bars, everything. All of that was my duties, and I won awards for that, and I was thankful. I actually had not a real scholarship for LACC college in gymnastics, but I told them I wanted to play football, and they said, "Well, we brought you here for the gymnastics team," and I said, "Well, I'm really not that interested in gymnastics. I have to be honest with you. I want to play football," and what they said was, "Well, okay, we'll let you try out for the team. We'll put you on the team." They did. And they really didn't give me no opportunity. It was not in the plans for them. So I left and I went to another JC, Southwest JC, and they didn't know anything about me. Period. Nothing about my past. Nothing about football. I didn't tell them I didn't play. I didn't tell them I played. Didn't say anything. And I got an opportunity. I started that year. Started this next year. I got a lot of scholarship offers all over the place, and it was really raw to me though. I wasn't that like. I didn't even know. I'm gonna tell you this story. I didn't even know that I had scholarship offers other than the University of Pittsburgh, and Long Beach State. I had those two college offers, and so I took Long Beach because I didn't want to go all the way on the East Coast. So, but years later, after I played in the NFL and everything, I met a guy. He told me he was a janitor at Southwest at the time that I was there, and he remembered me because I did do pretty decent. I was pretty well recognized and everything. And he asked me. He said, "Hey man, what college did you end up going to? I know you played for the Rams and stuff, but what college did you end up going to?" I said Long Beach State, and he said, "Why would you go to school there at Long Beach State?" And I said, "Well, I said, man, I only had two offers, University of Pittsburgh and Long Beach State." And I said, "They're the only people called." And he said, "No," he said, "That's not true." He said, "I saw a stack of letters for you about this thick, about this thick." He said, "I saw letters from every school in the United States." He said, "I saw letters for you like you wouldn't believe." And I said, "No, man, that's not true." He said, "No, listen, I was there. I saw the letters.
Wow.
Your name was on the letters. I never knew anything about that. I had no clue."
You're kidding.
And you know what?
No
That
way.
does happen. It does happen because so many different kids and the coaches, it goes to the coaching staff. So
Right.
if they don't do the due diligence and get that information to the student athlete, like Sydney says, they'll never know. But
Right.
but that journey and getting to play football, I just got to ask you this. Did you find that gymnastics and all of what you did in that, how much did that contribute to you starting to play football? Because you hadn't played in a long time. So this is
Right.
new
Well,
for your muscles.
Right. I played in the playgrounds. I mean, I like I said, I was in the streets, man. I was kind of a street
Yeah.
kind of guy, you know what I mean? So we had our little fun in the streets and everything. And I always played, but I think gymnastics actually helped me with my flexibility, with my quickness and things like that. I was able to be able to do things that a lot of guys wasn't able to do, turning, moving around, especially as a defensive back. I was able to do things that were easy for me to do. Whereas a lot of guys might have gotten hurt doing them. So.
Wow.
That's
Well,
incredible.
that is incredible. I got one more thing to ask. I'm going to throw it to my partner after this. So when we met, you were a defensive back. Had you always been defensive back? Is that a position that you desired to play, or it just stuck you there? Oh, really? Okay.
No. I initially when I was in high school and I was wanting to try out and all that kind of stuff, and they didn't give me that shot. I wanted to play running back,
Mm-hmm.
but of course.
Oh, we lost your audio, my friend.
As well, so
there it is.
He was definitely going to.
We lost your audio there.
We lost your audio, which we can scrub out, but we lost you there. Is your mic on, Sydney?
Coach Den. Yeah, can you hear me?
There we go. Sorry, we
There
lost
we go.
you. Might want to
okay,
try
sorry.
to keep it still. Sorry, my friend.
I'm sorry. Yeah, my bad.
It's okay. Technology's voodoo.
Because we want to hear that story now. That's
Yes.
unique.
Yeah,
Take
so
us
I was
back.
saying, that I, because I didn't play in high school, when I went to Southwest JC, Wendell Tyler was in my high school, so he was the running back there, and he was awesome.
Yes,
Wendell
he was
great.
Yes, he was.
And so there was no way I was going to play anyway with Wendell being there. You know what I mean? But as a running back, but it didn't matter to me. I would have played anything. To be honest with you, I just wanted to play. But when I got to Southwest, I figured, I started thinking about the positions, and I figured, you know what, I'm already upset and I'm pissed off, so I'm going to play defensive back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to hurt some people. That was my goal. That was my goal initially. I'm gonna try to hurt some guys out here. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do my best to show them that I can play this game. So
Yes, sir.
so I did. I did. I met Coach Denham. He's a great coach, man. We're still good friends today. And Coach D, he taught me everything I know about playing defensive back. I worked out with a lot of guys. In fact, I actually, when I was after I did get that scholarship to Long Beach, I used to work out with Harold Jackson,
Yes.
and Ron Jesse as well. We'd work out at the beach. We'd work out, after practice, after school, during the off season. I mean, we worked out a lot, and they were already in the pros, and I was just a college guy. And but I did pretty well against them, and they thought I had the chance they really thought I had the opportunity to play the game based on my coverage. You know, how I covered one-on-one, and so and I give them all the credit for it because you know, just like with PD, you know, I mean, I working with him during a season and with the Rams, I'm gonna tell you, man, you know, he was awesome. PD was he was great.
I know.
No, seriously, he was great, man.
Yep.
And it gave me the opportunity to get better. And that's what I try to tell young kids. I was like, you know, find the best receivers you can find to play against, to go to practice with, and to go against them, because that's going to just make you better. I mean, don't worry about if they beat you. That doesn't matter. Them beating you just gives you an opportunity to figure out what they're doing. And so that was my strategy all along, you know, was to, you know, work out with the best. And so Harold was, you know, from my neighborhood. I knew Harold Jackson, you know, growing up, and he was like an icon, you know, and we just had the opportunity to work out together, and you know, and of course, and you know, Harold and I are still good friends today. You know, we go back a long way. I mean, he knows my entire family. You know, my brother Kerry played for the Seahawks, and my brother Tyrone played for the 49ers. You know, we all got an opportunity, all free agents. None of us got, you know, drafted or anything like that. And yeah. So, you know, we got opportunities just based on, you know, raw abilities, you know, and we just did what we could do to fit in and play the best and hardest we could play, and we made it into that, you know, elite field of athletes. And you know, I'm just really blessed. I feel really blessed. I know God was with me the entire time on this journey, because, you know, there's just no way I could see doing it in no other way. I mean, I couldn't have done it by myself. I really do think that me, you know, going through the high school situation, your youth football, my parents didn't have money, so it wasn't no Pop Warner for me or my brothers. You know, that was not in the cards. But high school, we thought, well, you know, we could probably make it, you know, high school, but that didn't happen for either of us. None of us played in high school. You know, none of us played high school football. We all went to a junior college, and we all got opportunities there. Kerry went to East LA, and Tyrone also went to East LA, and then he got a scholarship to Fullerton. Kerry got a scholarship to Oregon State, and then we all got the opportunities in the NFL. So, you know, it was a blessing, man. That was just God, man, all the way. You know, man, there was no other thing I can blame it on. You know, just it was a divine intervention.
Divine intervention.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man.
We hear a ton of stories on this show. Go ahead, Sydney.
No, I was just saying, you know, I mean, the thing with me was I was just determined to prove people wrong. I think that's what my thing was. I was determined to prove, you know, if they said I couldn't do something, well, oh, really? Okay, I'm going to show you that I can. I mean, that was just my mindset was I was a militant. PD will tell you, I was a militant with the Rams.
He was, shall I say, he was competitive?
Yeah, I was
very
extremely competitive, I have to admit. But you know, I had great talent to work with, and I think that's what really made me better. You know, having guys like PD and Ron Jesse and you know, Billy Waddy, you know, those kind of guys, you know,
Ron
to
Smith.
work with. Ron Smith, you know, guys like that to work with, man, you know, was amazing for me to better my skills. And, you know, I just got better and better, you know, the more I worked with those guys. I just became, you know, a better one-on-one corner. When I got to the Colts, that's all they did. They only wanted me to play one-on-one. And you know, and I, you know, it was good. It was a great experience for me because I had a great opportunity, and I, you know, hardly got any balls caught on me in any games, you know what I mean, things like that. So I was really blessed to be able to fit in that way and have the opportunity that I had, really, you know.
It's incredible. I mean, we hear a lot of stories on this show. I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, Preston, I've never seen someone who not only never played high school football, but was a gymnast.
Oh yeah,
turn into an NFL football player. Like what? I got to ask you. So Sydney, and again, it happens every show, but I just got to get it out of the way. I was a massive fan of that team. That's the team I grew up on. That's why 88 means a lot to me. I wanted to be him.
Gotcha.
I wanted to be Billy Waddy. When they told me I wasn't fast enough, they flipped me to the other side of the ball because I liked mixing it up. I was a thumper.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And suddenly I idolized Rod Perry, Pat Thomas, Nolan Cromwell, Johnny Johnson. The list goes on. And yourself, that whole team. I got to ask you, you weren't the biggest guy, right? Like
No.
5'10",
No.
170, 180 back
at
then?
the time, yeah. At that time,
Wow.
I was about 5'10", about almost 5'11", but I was 5'10", and I was 175.
There you go. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. So I got to ask this because this is a family show. Having three brothers. You mentioned your PD just said you're competitive, feisty, like to mix it up. Does that go back to how you were raised in South Central Los Angeles and having two brothers?
Yeah. I actually had three brothers.
Oh, forgive me. Okay.
My youngest brother, Robert.
Robert.
He Robbie J, we call him, and he actually became a police officer. So
did he?
Wow.
Yeah, he did. He became a police officer. He played at Idaho State University.
Okay.
And didn't get an opportunity in the NFL, but he was definitely capable. He was capable of doing it. He was very small, a much smaller athlete.
Gotcha.
Unfortunately, he just didn't get the chance to do it. But he was good. He was very, very good at it. I mean, because I worked with Coach Denham so intensely in regards to technique, because I hadn't played ever throughout my youth. I was a very good student. I was anxious to learn as much as I possibly could, and I had the right coach. Coach Ray Denham is probably the best coach. He is the best coach I ever had.
He is.
He taught me so much. I wrote a book actually called the Lost Art. And it's called The Lost Art because I feel like the art of playing cornerback has been lost in my opinion from here today. And I'm watching these guys play today. It's like, I mean, they're great athletes out there. Don't get me wrong. They're great athletes, but when it comes down to technique, they're lacking, terribly. And so I decided to write a book, and I wrote the book. It's on Amazon. It's called The Lost Art.
Okay.
And,
pick it up,
and
people.
it's all about how to play defensive back. It's for coaches and for players, So, but it gives you all of the little points. It's a very short book. It's not. Maybe I wanted it to be very unintimidating. So I condensed everything I could as much as I could. Because I didn't like reading when I was young, so I figured, what, they're not gonna like reading this, so I'm gonna make it as small as possible. It's like 90-something pages. It's not a lot, but it is very informative.
I'm waiting for Preston to pop off right now and do some wide receiver to DB trash talking about they didn't like reading. What I tell you, they weren't the smartest guys. I'm waiting for it.
I told you.
Okay, sorry, man. Awesome.
Hey, listen, reading was not in the program. I was a doer. I wasn't a reader. If I figured it out, I was going to do it. I wasn't going to read about it. But I think it is what I did was I decided to do that book as a way of giving back. Really, that's why I did it. I wanted to give back to the younger generation because they definitely need.
Lost your audio briefly there, my friend. We lost your audio.
My goal
there he is.
Was I gone?
Yeah. You were gone, yeah, for a few seconds. That's okay.
Okay.
Bring us back. Yeah.
No, I was just saying, my motivation wasn't money for the book. It was really to give back to to kids and to young coaches and stuff to teach them how to teach and what would be the necessary things to cover somebody like a Preston Denard. You know what I mean? I mean, I had the opportunity to do that every day. for a few years. You know what I mean? I had that opportunity to work out with guys like that, and it gave me so much insight on how much I can learn to teach other people and help other people. So, that's why I did the book.
And the growth of athletes at that level is exactly what Sydney started out saying, how he grew up and competed against Jess and all these guys. That grows you up quickly, and you either stay or you're out of that game. But when we talk about transition, I know Stacy is ready for this transition. We want to talk about some of the old days of doing stuff like this. Ladies and gentlemen, my man, well, actually what this is, Sydney, I don't know if you even remember this, but this is my 45. When I tried to do what you do extremely well, and I had a fun time at it, but being the talent that you are as a singer, performer, entertainer, I've had the blessing to even be on stage with you. And I got to tell the story. I'm going to open it up like this, and I'm going to let Sydney run with it. So we're at a golf tournament in North Carolina. I think it was Duke University, Duke Golf Club. Beautiful course, by the way. And the Miracles are the show. And they are performing after the event, and a beautiful event. And everybody's eating dinner. They come down to the performance, Sydney's performance. For some reason, he calls me up on stage. I go up on stage, and he gives me the mic. They start playing My Girl. Mind you, I haven't rehearsed with him. I haven't done anything. He gives me the mic. He pushes me up front. I started singing. Lo and behold, this should not have happened. All the young ladies start running down to the front of the stage. And I got to show it to you. I'm singing, and I get ready to hit another note, and the mic goes real quick. I turn, it's Sydney. He grabs the mic, starts singing. It's over right there.
Like, dude, you had your 10 seconds of fame. It's over.
Well,
awesome.
honestly, PD and I, we used to sing, in the locker rooms. We used to do a lot of, like those type of things. And honestly, really, I wish you lived in Arizona, man, because I would put you in the group, because I have my brother in the group. He's played for the Seahawks.
What?
And you and Kerry sings in the group too. So he sings with the Miracles. And if it was me, Kerry, and PD, oh man, come on now.
Maybe a guest appearance. I'll do some studio work.
We'll do
you.
something.
I think you just got invited, Preston. I'm like, something's happening right here.
Yeah, that means I got to
mark that soundbite. Mark that soundbite. Okay.
Take us through that journey, Sydney. How'd you start? How did you get into the music, transitioning from football?
Well, what happened was, because I didn't play in football in high school, it really opened up a gateway for me to get involved more in music, like talent shows and things like that. So other things to get girls, because that was my motivation. My motivation to play football was to get cheerleaders and so forth and so on. That was my motivation.
Yep.
But so nobody came to the gymnastics tournament.
Oh, that hurts. Oh man.
No one came to the gymnastics tournament. So I had to figure another angle to get the ladies. So what I did was I put together a singing group. And we actually got really good. We started playing like talent shows, like big radio, like KJLH radio had a big talent show. And we won that one. We actually took second place. We took second place in that one. And but we won a lot of talent shows all around the city of Los Angeles while I was in high school, and met a lot of different people, like Patrice Rushen. She went to Locke High School, Ndugu. All these different musicians that ended up becoming really famous, and we all hung out together as kids and performed together. And so what happened was, because like I said, because each year that I tried out for the football team, I got released, I got cut, whatever. And but I had music, so I was still able to pursue my goal of ladies. So
it was all about the ladies. Let's be
honest.
It
was all about the ladies. So I'm sorry. So but that was my goal, and we did. I had a group. It was called the Five Enlightens, and we were like, like a Temptations type of act, and
Oh,
I did all of the miracles. We did the miracle stuff, the Temptations, the Dramatics, all of those iconic acts, like that. We performed those songs. What you see is what you get. Ooh baby baby.
Ooh,
We
baby,
did all
baby.
yeah, we did all those songs. So it was that transition for me to get back into the music world was pretty easy for me. The transition. The real story is that excuse me, is that I was I was I was doing a talent show at Crenshaw High School, and I just got off the stage. We had just sang "Ooh Baby Baby" and what was the other song? A couple of songs. We did like 2 or 3 songs. Anyway, lo and behold, Ray Charles lived in that area of the Baldwin Hills, it's called in LA, and he was actually at the show. So he was at the talent show, and he asked the guy, "Where'd you hear this? Where'd you hear this stuff?" He asked the guys. He said, "I want to go see that kid who just sang 'Ooh Baby Baby,' because he was watching the show." So he came backstage.
He was watching.
Well, no, he wasn't actually watching. Sorry, he was listening to the show.
Yeah, he was. He was watching.
He was listening to the show. But anyway, so he comes backstage, and he's like, "Hey, who's the man who was just young man who was just singing that song?"
whoa.
Right? And so I
Love it.
So here he is right here. This is Sidney Justin, blah blah blah. So he comes over to me, and he got a little guy who's walking with him, and he touches me, and he touches my face, and he goes, you sound pretty. You sound. I thought you were Smokey Robinson when I walked in there. I thought Smokey was here as a guest. And he says, and he said, yeah, and I kid you not. Listen, this is the craziest thing for me. So he goes, I thought Smokey was actually singing up there, but they told me you're a student here. And I was like, yes, sir, I'm a student here at Crenshaw. And he goes, he said, "But did you know Smokey was leading the miracles? And did you know you should take his place?"
Yeah. There we go.
Hey, I'm telling you, man. Listen, that's why I'm telling you, this is the divine thing happening.
Man,
to
that's
me.
giving me goosebumps. That's wild.
He says, you should take his place, right? And I said to him, well, how would I do that? And he said nothing. He turned around and walked out of the room. And I'm just standing there looking at the guys going, what was that about, right? And
wait, you're like 17 years old, 16, 17?
Yeah. I was 16 years old. And he said, you should take his place. And he walks out the room. And then a few years later, actually at that time, a guy by the name of Billy Griffin took his place.
Yeah,
right. So Billy actually took his place at that time. And then what happened was, what happened after that took place, I mean, I didn't know what that was about or whatever. It was just, and it didn't faze me at all. It didn't have any, kind of significance to me at the time. Okay, zero significance. It was just a guy, Ray Charles. I mean, he was like a local guy. He lived in the same neighborhood. He lived in the hills, and we lived in the hood. So so it was a little different, but a little different. He lived up the hill. We was on the bottom of the hill, but we all knew that where he lived and the whole thing. We had parties at his house and everything like that later on. But a few years later, Billy Griffin and I met, and he said to me, I'm gonna be leaving the Miracles, and this was in 1979. This is the year I signed with the Rams, right? He said, I'm gonna be leaving the Miracles, and I met him prior because I did some work with John Barnes. He was a producer, and I sang on Fat Albert movie. The Fat Albert movie. Fat Albert.
Yeah.
I don't know how. Hey, whatever that is. So
I
sang on that. Yeah, I sang on that soundtrack, and I worked with John Barnes. And then John Barnes, he lived in our neighborhood as well. He was, a neighborhood guy, and Billy Griffin and him became really close friends. Well, John introduced me to Billy, and we became friends. And Billy said to me, you know, you should take my place, man. I'm gonna be. No, John told me. John said, Billy's leaving the group. You should take his place. And I said, well, okay, I want to audition. So I go and I do the audition. I go to the Beverly Hills Hotel, and there's Billy and a couple of other Miracle guys there, original guys, and I'm an attorney. And then I sang a couple songs, and then they said, okay, we'll call you back. We'll call you back. Let you know. So a couple weeks go by, but in that period, I got a tryout with the Rams. The same like week or two, I got a tryout with the Rams. And how I got that, bro, you know, you're not gonna believe this one. So what happened was, I decided to. I didn't know I didn't get drafted, so I was trying to figure out what am I gonna do? How am I gonna get in? How am I gonna get? I know I could play because I talked to Harold, I talked to Ron, Jesse. All of they think I could play. Those are all pro guys. Why would they tell me if I couldn't do it? And I didn't get drafted. So and I had 11 interceptions my senior year at Cal State Long Beach, and I didn't get drafted. I'm
That's
like,
wild.
how could you not get drafted?
Yeah.
You know, but we didn't get any television coverage or nothing like that,
Yeah.
right? So I go to so I found out that Blair Field was where the Rams worked out at in the off season, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna just sneak on to that facility. I know that it's only for players that play in the NFL that lived in the area and stuff like that. And I lived in South Central LA, so I figured, okay, I'm gonna go over there and I'm just gonna sneak in. So I did. I went in. I had my little shoes on and stuff like that. And I put them over my shoulder. I walked up to the gate. I saw the guard. I said, "Hey, what's up?" He said, "Hey, what's up?" And I just kept going. I just walked in. Right? Damn, I made it in.
That's how you do it.
I was like, I made it in. So I get my shoes on, and I'm looking at everybody, and I started seeing all the guys that I see on TV playing and everything like that, right? And I'm looking at these guys. I'm like, God damn, look, oh man, look who it is. Like blah blah blah, right? So then here we go, one-on-ones. I go out there. I started covering. I'm in line. I go the first time I get beat, I got beat bad. And then the second time I got beat again. And then the third time I made a decent play. And the fourth time I got beat again. So I got beat 4 times in one-on-ones, and 3 times in one-on-ones, and 1 decent play. I knocked the ball down. So that was on a Tuesday. So on Thursday I went back. And on that Thursday, I said, "Hey, what's up?" to the guard. He said, "What's up?" And I just walked in again. All right. I walked in again. And so this day, the day before though, that evening after that first day, I was so frustrated because I know I could play. I knew I could play. So I started drawing out the plays that they did. Worked out the patterns that they were doing. I just kept doing it. I kept working them all day, all night, 2 days in a row. And Thursday I went back and I got in again, and then started working out with them. And that day I intercepted every pass thrown at me. Every pass that was thrown at me, I intercepted. So then Rod Perry come up to me and go, "Man, what team you play for, man?" Because it was only NFL players that are supposed to be in there. So he goes, "What team you play for?" And I said, "Man, honestly, bro, I snuck in here." He's like, "What?" And he said, "No, man, no, you bull. Come on, you bullshit, man. Are you serious?" And he calls over a couple other guys. "Man, this dude snuck in here, man." It was like, "Man, you crazy, man." And so
I love it.
So Monty Jackson goes, "Man, come with me, man." So we go to the office, and he calls Jack Faulkner on the phone, and he says, "Hey, Jack, man, got this guy here, man. He's working out with us, and you got to come see this kid, man. You got to come see this dude." Because they asked me who I was, and I just told them the truth. I snuck in, and blah blah blah. And so I'm hearing Jack. What the fuck? What? Excuse me. What the hell? What the hell? And so I'm hearing him yelling on the phone and stuff. And then he goes, "So put him on the phone." So I get on the phone, and he said, "You know who I am?" I said, "No, sir. I don't know who you are." He said, "Well, I'm gonna tell you." He said, "I'm gonna tell you something. you can go to prison. No, you can go to jail. He said, not prison. He said, you can go to jail for trespassing. That's against the law, what you just did. You just walked out there and just started working out. But Monty had already told him that he needed to come and see me, right? So he said to him something like, man, this dude up here is intercepting all the passes in this practice, this little workout here. So after he was all pissed off, Jack was all pissed off. He said, finally says, I'll be up there next Tuesday. I want you there. Be on time. I'll work you out. So I said, all right. He asked me what school I went to and all that stuff, blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
So I went there, and on Tuesday, I ran a 40. After I ran the 40, he ran me through some drills and stuff like that. And you know, he wasn't mad no more. He was cool.
Yeah.
And he ran through the drills and all that kind of stuff. And then he said, okay, I want to see you cover. So we was getting ready to do one-on-one. So he stood on the sideline. He was watching, and I went out there and I started covering. I intercepted the first pass, and then I went back to the sideline, waited my turn again, went out again, knocked down the second pass, and then got in line, went the third time, got interception again, and then I was looking back to see if he was watching and everything, right? He had gone. He left.
Oh,
I was like,
He saw enough.
shit. I was like, I thought he was like, oh man, I was kind of heartbroken. You know what I mean? I was like, man, what the heck? And I was like, damn, I missed. I don't know what happened. I thought I was doing pretty good, right? So now I moved back to the miracles thing. So that same week, the following week, same week. So I couldn't go back up to the Rams camp no more because I was trespassing, right? So the following week, the miracles called me, and they said, the Rams called first. They said, this is Jack Faulkner. This is Sid Justin. Yes, sir. He said, okay, I did my research on you. I checked you out at Long Beach State. He's like, wow, what a career, blah, 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 this and this. And he goes, look, we want to sign you. I said, for real? He said, I was like surprised. I was shocked, man. I was like, are you serious? And he said, yeah, we want to sign you. You know, I don't know how you got looked over. He said, but we definitely want to sign you. And I said, all right, cool. He said, you got an agent. And I said, yeah, Doc Daniels. Everybody had Doc Daniels. But Doc really wasn't my agent yet because I didn't have no agent. I just knew who he was. I knew Doc Daniels was an agent, but I didn't have an agent. So I said, yeah, Doc Daniels my agent. So he said, okay, I'll call Doc. And I said, all right, cool, because I didn't have Doc's number. So he called Doc or whatever. And then so Doc then calls me. He gives Doc my number, and Doc calls me, and then says, "Hey, they told me they want to sign you, blah blah. I'll represent you, blah blah blah." Okay, so that same week, that I said yes, I want to sign, the Miracles called and said, "We just finished auditioning. Everybody, it's been a couple of weeks. We've been all around the country, and we want to sign you." I say, "What?" He said, wow. "Yeah, we want to sign you. We picked you." And they said, this is what you have to do. You're going to have to fly to Detroit. We're going to get you a place. We're going to get you a car. We're going to get you all you got to do is start rehearsing. Blah, blah. And I was like, wait a minute. I was like, I'm going to sign to play football with the Rams. And they said, what? They said, what do you mean? I said, I'm going to play football with the Los Angeles Rams. And they said, well, why did you audition? I said, hey, man, I was asked to audition, so I did. I said, but I tell you what. I said, the problem is I can always sing. I can always come back to music, but I can only play football one time in my life. I was like, and this is the opportunity of a lifetime. And they were like, you're right. Go on and go for it. And guess what? Wow. I went and did it. I played, and they didn't get any other lead singers until then, until after I finished playing and everything, and then I came back and I sang with them. Isn't that a crazy story?
Oh, that's a great story.
That's an inspiring story, wonderful. Man. For anybody out there trying to chase a dream, dude. I mean, football and a lead singer of replacing Smokey Robinson, like what?
That's iconic.
I mean, that's iconic.
Yeah, man. It was a blessing, bro. I mean, really. I mean, for me, it was like a, I don't know, storybook, you know what I mean, for me, because, I mean, it was something I always wanted to do, was to play football in the NFL. I used to wear a little helmet when I was about 7 years old. Unfortunately, it was a Dallas Cowboy helmet. But
that is unfortunate.
Oh, that hurts.
yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, like,
But,
oh,
but
Lucille.
no,
That hurts.
I used to wear the little helmet all the time, and I, it was a dream, and I must say, man, that God let me have my dream, man. Really, it's I feel extremely blessed that I was able to actually play in the NFL and the Super Bowl and all of that. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
really a blessed person to meet guys like Preston and all the guys, Harold, and all the guys that I've encountered, Rod Perry, Pat Thomas. These are special people, man. I am very blessed to have met all of those guys, especially in my situation that I never really thought, that it could. I guess I never thought it could really happen, but I pursued it no matter what. You know what I mean? Just being, we grew up really. We didn't grow up like, I wouldn't say poor, but we were poor.
Yeah.
My parents did the best they could to raise us, and so it was just it was just a dream come true, man, to play in the NFL for me. And my brother Kerry. My brother played. He ended up playing 11 years with the Seahawks.
Yeah.
And
We're gonna end up having him in the near future. Love to have
yeah.
that. Sydney,
Yeah, that'd
as
be
we
great.
bring this thing to a close, we've got one more segment we got to do with you, and
All right.
my partner in crime is going to lead us into it. But I got one last question.
Please.
Obviously, it has always been a joy to be associated with you and to see your career take off. You've been doing this as the lead singer with the Miracles for how many years now?
26.
Wow. That is outstanding. And you still perform today. You all travel, you perform.
We just came back from a cruise that we just performed on with like Frankie Avalon was there. All these different iconic artists were on the cruise performing. Chubby Checker, believe it or not, Chubby Checker.
Really? Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Awesome, man. He did a great job, man. He's still a great entertainer, and we performed. We had a great time on the cruise. We do the Soul Train cruise, the Malt Shop cruise, and the Disco cruise. All these different theme type cruises we do all the time. And if anybody out there listening, you should do that Soul Train cruise or the Disco cruise. I'm telling you, it's
what cruise line is that? Like, seriously, Soul Train? I'm there.
Yeah, it's
I know.
I can't. I don't know exactly. I think it's called Star Vista. I think it's.
Oh, okay. I'll Google it. I'll find you.
Yeah, man. Check it out, man. I'm telling you, man. It's awesome. Everybody on, like, for the Disco cruise, for instance. Everybody come. It's a theme, right? And so everybody's dressed like in the 70s and 80s with the disco, with the big afros, and it's a trip and a half, But
Preston, any thoughts on the afros, my friend?
I got to bring out photos to be able to make that happen.
Right.
I had a poster of Preston as a kid when he had the curls, man.
Oh, is that right?
Oh yeah. He looked good. He was
hilarious.
styling.
I'm trying to get this plugged in here because I think I'm about to lose.
Lose power?
Battery.
That's the beauty of podcasting. Anyone listening, they all know exactly how this works.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You got to do that because we've come to the part where it's the end of our segment, and it's called the 2-minute drill. And Stacy, take it away. I want you to end it with my dear friend and someone that you've just always been waiting to meet. So you got it, my friend.
I love it, man. I love it. I have 101 million other questions for you, Sydney. So as soon as this episode ends, I'm going to look at Preston and go, we need another hour with Sydney. So just know that. Because I want to know about Earth, Wind, and Fire, the Gap. I mean, I got questions. But we're going to go into the 2-minute drill, which is traditional on this show. Thank you, Preston, for deferring. This is all about getting to know you just as a person. And yeah, these get kind of fun and silly sometimes. But we'll keep it. We're going to tap into the football player and the singer. So rapid fire, grass or turf?
Grass.
Yes. 100%, Preston. You nailed it.
Love it.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Okay. Seems like a theme. The one singer you would love to duet with?
Marvin Gaye.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, we need another hour, Preston. Okay.
Yeah.
The album that changed your life?
What's Going On?
What's going on?
Marvin Gaye, man. Okay. Favorite movie?
Scarface.
Ah, okay. Okay.
I
Little Al
see it.
Pacino.
I
Little Al
see
Pacino.
it.
Yep.
And then they're making a movie of your life. Who plays Sidney Justin?
It's funny you even said that, but I'm not really sure right now. I don't know yet. There's quite a few people out there though that I've actually kind of explored, but not. I don't know anyone just yet. I'm not. I
Okay.
can't say. I can't say yet.
Oh, that's a teaser for another interview. So
Very much so, yeah.
love that. And I got to say, just in conclusion here, and I love that Preston let me do this. I've been in conflict this whole time for those of our podcast people who watch on YouTube. You are a true Los Angeles guy. When you wearing a Rams hat and you got the Raiders headset behind you.
That's what I wanted to ask him about.
Preston, go ask him.
What is up with that, Sid?
Well, listen, okay, so everybody knows this. Not everybody knows it, but I've been a Raider my whole life.
Ooh.
I was a Raider my entire life, and I just happened to play for the Rams. But I almost got a chance. I almost got a chance to play for the Raiders. Right after, it was right before I signed with the Buffalo Bills. I almost got a chance to play with the Raiders, but it was a little bit too late. Yeah, I've been a Raider my whole life. As a kid, man, I was a Raider. Even though I had that little crazy, that little cowboy football helmet on. That was just that was an unfortunate thing.
Very.
But that's all I had. That's all I had. So it was what I. But I've been a Raider my whole life, man. As you could see, Raider.
Oh, look
Raider
at that.
everywhere. Yeah.
Wow.
But I played for the Rams. All my brothers are on the Rams. I got brothers on the Raiders too. Rod Martin. We've been friends for years. Leo Gray. Fred Bolitnikoff. All those guys are friends of mine, really tight friends, and I love those guys. And everybody knows me. They know that I'm a real Raider.
You're a real Raider. I now know.
Mentally.
I sense the tude and the edginess a little bit. Yeah, it's there.
Yeah. Mentally.
Anybody that doesn't play high school football and gets to the NFL and then replaces Smokey Robinson and Eddie Griffin as the singer of the mirror, you better have some edge, right? Oh my gosh. I'll tell you, in conclusion, this has been an absolute thrill for this guy to listen to you two, as it is every time with Preston and some of his closest friends. I will say this, whatever your parents have, we need to bottle, because I don't know how you can have that many sons with that much talent that overcome that many obstacles in that. I'm staggered by that. So I know I'm pouring it on thick, but I really mean it. That's incredible. Your parents must be really proud.
Man. Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Love you, my friend. Thank you for doing this with us. And I even learned some new stuff. I may have to forget about that cowboy helmet wearing, but that's okay. I'm gonna have nightmares tonight.
I was a child.
Child. There you go. Blame it on that. Thank you, man. We really appreciate you joining us, and say hello to my wonderful sister Mari, and you all enjoy yourself. Congratulations too.
Thanks, and Sydney,
love you guys, man.
Oh man, this is the thrill of a lifetime. For folks who want to listen to your music, any charities or anything you're involved in, where can they find you?
You can go on YouTube and pull up, the Miracles Music, or you can go to a website and pull up themiraclesmusic.com. You got to put in themiraclesmusic.com, or you can go on YouTube and pull up, several videos. We have a lot of videos on YouTube.
Love it. I love it. Thank you, Sidney Justin. Thank you, Preston, for introducing us to your close friend. And for those of us listening to the podcast, you find us on all the major networks and watch this great interview on YouTube. You'll see this hat and backdrop that we're referring to with this guy who we're going to have a chat about this offline, but the Raiders. But thank you. Thank you to the great Sidney Justin, man. And to my iconic close friend, Preston Denard. For us here at Gridiron Icon, we will see you next week.
Tell Angela I said hi, Preston.
Got you.
All right, man. See you.